Hello everybody. Today we are going to take these UTG scope rings that I got from another one of my rifle scopes and replace them with these. As I said earlier, I got this off another scope that I bought, which was also a UTG, and these are high mount or a high profile, I don't know what you really call it, I guess, scope mount. So it takes a little bit of extra adjustment of the scope, or the cheek piece here, to get my eye lined up with this. So replacing these with some medium height, because I got plenty of room right here. And then also having a little bit better quality scope ring to go with the high quality scope. So Vortex with Vortex. So I will show you guys how we're going to do this. So to remove these rings, I am using my fat wrench, which I bought with my Wheeler scope mounting kit. I know these are 3mm from when I first put them on, so I'm just gonna zip these off. Alright, so now that we got the tops off and then the scope out, we're gonna remove this, which I am going to use an Allen wrench. Because they got a hole in the top and the bottom, which I've just been using that to snug them up with. Turn that ear on it, basically. Pull those off. Alright, so that is all complete. To the side. Alright, so let me bring you out a little further. So I got my scope mounting kit here. This is the Wheeler Engineering scope mounting kit. It comes with the lapping bars for 1" and 30mm scopes. I put all these in here. They don't come with this for my other toolboxes, so I can do a variety of different scopes. So I don't know if I mentioned this or not, but we're also going to install this anti-cant bubble level. I'm going to show you how to do this. It was already on the rifle, but I stuck it back in the packaging so you can see how it comes. It comes with the wrench and obviously the screws. So we'll put that on. I'll show you how to set that up. In this box is my barrel clamp and a piece of 4140 ground stock that I used to set up my level with. So just so you know what's in there. So now we're going to install these rings on next. Alright. 30mm. I'm not sure if I have to lap these or not. I know most of the time, from what I've been reading, they say you don't have to lap anymore, pretty much, any scope rings. I guess the way they manufacture them, make them, machine them, they're not that big of a deal anymore. They're more tighter tolerance, but it's got a little recoil stud there. Looks like they're Torx actually. And then it gives me 18 inch-pounds there, it says. So I know that for the scope because that's what it came with the manual. This one says 30. I don't know if you can see that or not. There we go, see what my camera likes. 30 inch-pounds for that. So, both of those, looks like it comes with 2 spare screws. It's kind of cool. Obviously the torque wrench, and then their warranty card saying it's lifetime and instructions. So obviously it says here you got to push your scope rings as far forward on the rail as possible, so I'll be showing you guys what I usually do. So it turns out these screws all the way around are Torx 25. So I found the bit for my fat wrench and I stuck that in there. So now we should be able to adjust them to the correct poundage. So, I'm going to set these on first. recoil lug might be thicker. I don't know if I got Picatinny or Weaver rail mounts, and I don't know what the sizes are for the difference there, but this might not fit on this thing. Okay, it does. It's just extremely tight. It does fit on there though. Like there's no side-to-side slop. It might be how they meant it or something, I guess. That one started, and then what I want to do is put Loctite in these, so I'm not going to do anything crazy quite yet. So that does sit down in there. It does fit. It's just snug. These have like this somewhat rubbery texturous. It's not really rubber though. I don't know how to explain it, but it's got some kind of coating on it that has that feeling. So I wonder if some of that coating might be just enough to get it be tight. But I know there's a difference between Weaver and Picatinny rails, and so maybe this was made for something special. I guess I could read the instructions. It says onto a Weaver or Picatinny base. I think I'm gonna use the second lug just because my bolt handle gets so close. So right there. Yeah, they go on there. They just fit tight. So now I'm gonna Loctite these. I got some medium strength Loctite from my kit, and I'm just gonna add a little drab on both. They shouldn't really ever come loose, I'm sure, but just because I'm here and now, I might as well do it. So I'm just gonna pull one out at a time. Just add a little drop there. Make me feel a little better. Alright, so now that I got the thread locker applied to all the screws, I'm going to adjust the fat wrench to 30 inch-pounds. And to do that, I pull out the bottom of my handle and just screw. Oops, hit the base there. So right now we're just about at 30. We can call that good. I'm going to torque these suckers down. Before I do that, I might as well make sure it's pushed all the way forward on the rail. The same with this back one here. Pushed all the way forward. Okay. Now, put the cap on my thread sealant just for now. We're going to need it again. I'm going to undo these tops and keep each half with each ring. The way I understand they're bored and machined is they got to be kept together. So I'll fast forward through that. Alright, so now that those are off, I'm going to take my 30mm alignment bars just because I'm curious to see how it works. See how well they do. Now I'm just going to check. I'm making sure I'm wiping these off really well. I already wiped inside the bases a little bit, and we're gonna get them very close. So the noses are almost touching. I'm gonna put these caps back on and snug them and torque them to the spec they would be as if I was mounting the scope, which would be 18 inch-pounds. Got my wrench set there. Just getting everything just snugged for now until I get all my screws in. So, looking at these bars, they are very close. So looking at it from the way we're looking at it right now with the camera, they're basically perfect. But when I come off to above them, their noses don't quite align. Let me see if I can get a better view of that. It's kind of hard to see. There's a slight, the points are just off, so I might try to hand lap these and see how that goes, just to get the most precise scope mount I can get. So I'm gonna hand lap them just a little bit and give that a shot. So, just got done hand lapping it to what I feel feels good. Never really know, I guess, but basically just went back and forth, side to side, until it got a little bit easier, and I kept on tightening down the rings, progressively removing material. I'm just gonna wipe and check my progress, and I can see, I will show you guys here in a second, where I've removed material from. And it was just as I thought, because I could tell when I was putting those alignment bars in that the sides of these scope rings just felt a little tight, and sure enough, that's where all the material has been removed from. Get these all wiped out really good. I said there's that coating. It's got that nice coating on it. I think it's like some kind of super tough scratch resistant coating. But you can see there, material is removed on the inside. So I've been keeping the rings. This one came off that one, so I'm trying to keep them still that way. I'm trying to make sure they stay clean looking. Brand new, so I don't want them looking dirty already. I'll show you the tops of these here in a second once I get everything cleaned up. That's the other side. So here is the view. You can see there's a lot of stuff taken out of that one. Not so much on this one. So on that side. So you can see opposite corners we're catching. Now we're gonna throw the alignment bars back on and see how they do. So the alignment bars are on, in, torque to spec. You can see there's a very minute height difference. I mean, it's so small I'm not going to worry about it. Actually, there might not be any at all. It looks really, really good. The top looks good again. They look a lot better. They're not perfect, but they look a lot better, so I think I'm going to leave that. I mean, they are very, very close. Get my camera to focus. So that's a lot better than what it was. So I'm going to take those back off, put the scope on, set my eye relief, and I'll show you how I'm doing all of that. Alright, so now that we've got those bars out, we're now going to level across the scope mount. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get the action level basically. And what I'm using my rifle's bipod, which has got I think it's a 40-degree tilt on it. Maybe it's 15 or something like that. And all I'm looking for obviously is perfection in that bubble. That bipod will hold it pretty well, and that'll allow me to get my barrel level on. Then I don't gotta rely on the bipod as much. Alright, so that right there is reading good. So right there is perfect. Got this little guy here. Just gonna go on our barrel. All I do is I get that one tight, double check my bubble here, which still says perfect. And this one here, I got an adjustment screw on the top, which will allow me to set it, which it already is just about right. I think we're gonna leave that right there. Perfectly center and perfectly center. Alright, so now that's level. Take our scope. It was like wiping right where the scope rings go. Wipe them off in case there's dirt or grime in there. It's going to lift your scope up just a little bit. Place that right in there. Yeah. Look at that clearance we got there for that. Using medium height rings. I kind of like that. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay my cheek on that cheek rest. Keep my eyes closed. Then when I open them, I'm going to look through my scope and see how everything looks. And I'll move this back and forth to get that desired view. So that there feels like a good spot for my scope to be mounted for eye relief wise. I also had to adjust my cheek rest up a little bit, I mean down, because of my lower scope mount rings. So now we gotta make sure our bubble's level again. Bring that back into perspective. I don't have a gun vise. That would be nice to have, and maybe someday I'll get one. Okay, right there is perfectly centered. So now that's taken care of. What I will do is throw my rings up on there, double check them for grime or anything again. Put them on exactly the way I took them off, and snug those down. I'm only going to keep 2 in because I got to Loctite them, so no sense of putting them all in just to pull them back out again to Loctite them. Alright. Get my Loctite back out, put a drop right on each screw. The scope ring gap a little even as best as possible. Alright, now it's just slightly snug. Should be able to slightly turn the scope, which I can, and throw this level right up on top. And then turn it to where it matches the level on the barrel. So, which it does. One other thing I'm going to try is with this piece of ground stock, put this magnet on there, magnetic level, a piece of hair there, and then come off the bottom. That also reads level. A video I was seeing, somebody else said to come off the bottom and check level also. They said that your scope is based off the bottom, so I was going to do top and bottom just to see. But both of those are level. Okay, I like to keep the level on while I'm tightening these down. And I can make sure my scope doesn't turn on me. Oops. And now we're not level. Okay, now we are. Alright, so we're still level. Back these out. And put some Loctite on those. Screws don't want to cooperate with me. So my camera ran out of space while filming the last part of my scope installation. So after I deleted some things, here it is all finished. But I mounted this, obviously. I just made this level bubble, even with the one on the end of the barrel, and then put some Loctite on the screws and tightened everything up. So it was really just that simple. Looks good. Fits just right. Made sure my bolt could clear it. So that's how it's done. Thanks for watching.